Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Siege, and today I want to talk about the future of engineering commanders.
That wasn't my fault.
Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Siege, and today I want to talk about the future of engineering commanders. So, the talent trees in what we expect in the future, commander skills, epic commanders, civilizations. So, stick around to the end of the video if you're interested. Forget to like and subscribe. Do it now if you haven't before. A lot of you don't, and obviously it's important for the channel. Spread the news of engineering all around the rock community. So let's get to it. And first of all, I want to talk about the talent trees. So let's go and have a look at the engineering commanders so far and the talent trees we have got. Obviously, we've got Margaret here. She has a support tree. I think this is fantastic. So, of course, here we've got expert design, rejuvenate, which is fantastic, extra rage, which siege marches generally need, an extra heal here. Obviously, engineering marches tend to have a bit of heal on with Gorgia and Margaret. There's usually, well, so far, there's always been one commander that has a bit of heal on. But yeah, you get a lot of decent stats here 18% stats, including the 6% health and 6% defense, which is very nice. Also, some extra march speed. Obviously, we tend to leave the engineering tree a bit like this. You can lose this march speed over here and make it strong on the field. You could go for. You wouldn't go for loose formation though; it's pointless. You'd probably go for the extra health and the counter attack. But honestly, I think the march speed is well worth it for the support tree. So I wouldn't mind seeing another support tree. I think it's really good value, especially hasty departure as well. You can get out of fights quickly and rejuvenate. I think it's just well worth having another support tree engineering commander. Now we've got a couple of attack tree commanders with Baba and Cordoba. Attack tree works fantastic with smite commanders like Cordoba here, and support tree on Garge and Marder, which is great. He's got better sustain in the field, which is nice. But to be honest, there's a new tree that I'd be really interested to see on the new engineering commanders. And guys, I'm expecting the new engineering commanders to drop around December time. I know Omniarch thought it could be cavalry that dropped in December and skip out engineering because engineering is strong enough already. I don't think that'll be the case. I think we will see two engineering commanders arrive then, and you know, epic commanders. We are expecting epic commanders in the future. They did tell us, but yeah, we've not seen them yet. So another tree I'm very interested in is that of none other than William Wallace, and he has a smite tree, which we can't even look at the moment. But with the range reduction and obviously the it works well with normal attacks and smite damage. The smite tree could be really interesting to actually tell you what. Doesn't he have the smite tree? Let's just go ahead and summon Scipio Emilianus. Let's have a look at the smite tree. So I'd want to go to at least here. So whenever this commander's troop deals any type of smite damage, all troops hit by the smite damage lose 15 rage. Okay, that's amazing to be honest. Rage reduction is fantastic, but I'm not sure how far exactly you'd be able to go on this tree with filling the engineering tree as well. But it would be an interesting tree to try out on an engineering commander, and obviously I would like more smite damage commanders, but we do know that commanders can also do skill damage like Margaret and Baba. And obviously in the equipment here, when you have a full set with a lupine investment, you do get 5% more smite damage and skill damage bonus. So we could get skill damage. And this leads on to another thing. We haven't had an engineering commander with the skill tree. Honestly, if we do get a skill damage commander, I wouldn't be too disappointed with having the skill tree. Again, it's got Rejuvenate. It's not as strong as a Rejuvenate in the support tree, but we've got some nice talents in here that could be very useful for our smite damage, well, skill damage commanders. That one will be very important, but I've looked at it and I think the skill tree could work. But obviously, I'd love another AoE engineering commander. That'd be fantastic. Higher than this, yeah, I mean, they usually increase the damage factors, don't they? Maybe we could hit 4 enemy troops, potentially. That would be great. And obviously, they should just do a bit more normal attack and stuff. Yeah, smart would be fantastic. So the next thing I want to move on to is obviously looking at the skills of the commanders. We went in briefly and I've said about AoE, and obviously extra mark speed would be great. Siege unit attack's fantastic. Range counter attack, range smite damage bonus, normal damage. If obviously we get smite commanders, and normal damage is great. If we get something like Margaret, but even more, like imagine something like 70% range normal damage bonus. I mean, we could get a Margaret on steroids, like just an extra hyped up Margaret, which would be unbelievable, really, because she works so well with Cordoba. If we can get a replacement for her, a better version, and everyone that's already invested in Cordoba can then invest in the newer version of Margaret, with maybe some little tweaks, something a bit special, an extra 10% damage bonus maybe. But even something different, something specific to range. Now, I was looking at Luce earlier, and obviously Luce does combo attacks. Now, we've heard a bit about this. Obviously, got a new formation that does combo attack damage that relates to that as well. And this is really interesting because I think this could be actually really strong for an engineering march. So, obviously, when you fire at range, you're only doing normal attacks, which is, your counter attack damage and your attack damage all as one. It's those white numbers that I've shown you on a previous video. Now, a combo attack will obviously not trigger enemy counter attacks, so you won't be taking those white numbers, or at least not all the white number you would do before. So imagine if we could get a ranged march that had a 10% chance to do an extra combo attack, but then also put a little twist on it. How about this ranged combo attack then did an AoE to 2 or 3 enemies? I mean, damage factor 200. That could be a real nice input and something quite specific for ranged. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and we've obviously heard a lot of it. Maybe I need to get this. I was saving this to buy, but how long have we got this left on that? 55 minutes. Doesn't matter too much. So the next thing I want to talk about is civilizations. And obviously we're expecting a new civilization in the new year, early next year. And wouldn't it be great to have a siege civilization? Maybe a ranged normal attack bonus, something like that. And obviously a siege special unit. Obviously I'm having to run France at the moment here. Now, I have been into more detail with the civilization, and I will put up a card in the end screen so you can have a look at that and my predictions if we do get a civilization and what I would like. I just got a feeling we could get a siege civilization. We need one. We haven't got one, so we need a siege civilization. The next thing I want to talk about is obviously the epic commanders. They've told us they're going to get epic commanders, and this would be fantastic for the game. So everyone can try out a ranged march. Anyone can invest into an epic commander. They don't have to invest gold heads, which is so valuable. In another video, I want to talk about early game and saving up gold heads. And if you want to become basically a siege main, or your first march is a siege march, I don't think it's a bad idea in the early game. I mean, you can easily make up your kills, support your kingdom with the defense reductions. I think it'd be really strong as your first proper march. But yeah, you won't get that until KVK 4, as they're not available until after KVK 3, the engineering commanders. But you want to be saving up your gold heads, a bit like what I am now, if you're going to be doing that. And I will make a separate video on that, like I said before. But right now, what I'm talking about is epic commanders. So we're expected to get epic commanders, plural, Even if it's one, I wouldn't mind it too much, but you would have to pair it with someone else, of course. Could we get that with a civilization, or could there be some separate kind of event? I believe they had an event before which released a couple of epic commanders. Was Tomorrow Georgia or something like that? I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear something like that before. I'm sure Phil from our Siege group said something like that. Another interesting concept in which I thought about with the new range commanders, hopefully coming soon after the archers, is that maybe we could get some sort of proper support commander. The active skill, maybe they can generate rage for your troops nearby or even allied troops. Basically like a buff march, buffing other marches on the field, like, you know, a bit like a Trajan or a Mulan of ranged. I think that'd be really, really nice. Now, obviously, if we go into our blacksmith here and look at the range accessories, a bit like how the drum works. So I think this is actually quite nice. So imagine if your ranged commander as an active skill could do something like this and grant 50 extra rage to the wearer's troop and up to 2 or 3 nearby allied troops. I think that could be really, really nice. Or a bit like a Seth's Call, where you grant an attack for yourself and the nearby troops. That would be kind of cool to have as part of the engineering commander's kit. But again, who knows what they'll bring out into the game. I just hope it's something really decent. I mean, ranged are in a good place, like Omniarch did say. They are super strong, but I don't want Lilith to skip them. That would be kind of upsetting because I'm ready for a third march. I've got a third set of gear and a third set of armaments kind of ready. Something that would do on the field at least. So we've got Gorge Armada here. This is my third set of equipment. Harvester set's fantastic. It's got good seed stats, and I'm working on this this legendary gear now. But this set works just fine in the field. You're trade positive all the time, as long as you're not getting swarmed, of course. And this is my third set of armaments as well. So a decent set of armaments. I'm ready for it. Lilith, you have to release another set of engineering commanders. Don't let Mr. C's down now. So guys, that's what I'm sort of expecting in the near future. I do hope we get a Siege Civilization, but it's not guaranteed like anything in this game. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, check out the cards in the end screen. So I'm going to put a few cards that are relative to this video. Some things I've done in the past that you may have missed. Go check them out. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, I know a lot of you haven't, and it really helps the channel. And again, we want to show everyone in Rock how strong engineering commanders are, because people just think they are a waste of time. They don't help the kingdom, and a lot of you know that isn't true, like I do. So guys, take care. This is Mr. Sage, and bye-bye.
Mr. Sage.
So guys, take care. This was Mr. Siege, and bye-bye.